It is January 15th. This is Vicki Rude with Mindful Minute, and here is today's reading. It is called Taste It, or How Does It Taste? The more spacious and larger our fundamental nature, the more bearable the pains of living. Wayne Mueller. An aging Hindu master grew tired of his apprentice complaining, and so one morning he sent him for some salt. When the apprentice returned, the master instructed the unhappy young man to put a handful of salt in a glass of water and then to drink it. "How does it taste?" the master asked. "Bitter," spit the apprentice. The master chuckled and then asked the young man to take the same handful of salt and put it in the lake. The two walked in silence to the nearby lake. And once the apprentice swirled his handful of salt in the water, the old man said, "Now drink from the lake." As the water dripped down the young man's chin, the master asked, "How does it taste?" "Fresh," remarked the apprentice. "Do you taste the salt?" asked the master. "No," said the young man. At this, the master sat beside this serious young man who so reminded him of himself and took his hands, offering, "The pain of life is pure salt. No more, no less. The amount of pain in life remains the same, exactly the same. But the amount of bitterness we taste depends on the container we put the pain in. So when you are in pain, the only thing you can do is to enlarge your sense of things. Stop being a glass, become a lake." And the activities are: center yourself and focus on a pain that is with you. Rather than trying to eliminate the pain, try to breathe through it. With each in-breath, notice your efforts to wrap around the pain. With each out-breath, try to enlarge your sense of self and let the pain float within the depth of all we'll never know. Well, this reminds me of the ocean. Well, that's kind of funny because the ocean does taste salty. But whenever I'm around the ocean or when I'm around mountains or when I was in Lake Tahoe, when I was in Lake Tahoe, just the vastness of nature and how teeny, teeny, tiny that my part in this cog is, and how that seemed to take all the hard stuff of life and just minimize it and make me realize that it's not that big of a deal, right? And one of the things that I have discovered in this journey, and it's something that I remember when I was in high school and I was on the swim team and I was taking a class to be a lifeguard. And we were about to take our test and I was a nervous wreck and I was in the locker room and I was acting all crazy. And this guy was in there and he said to me, he's like, Vicki, sometimes you just got to learn how to say F-U-C-K it. I don't know if I can swear on this channel. And it's probably, whatever. I can be spiritual and still swear. But the point is sometimes you got to say forget it. You can't worry about it. And then there was another gentleman in my 20s when I was working in Wrigleyville. And he used to say to me, "Vicki, is this going to matter in 2 weeks? Are you still going to be thinking about this? Is this still going to be your conversation in 2 weeks?" And I would say most of the time, no. Some of the time it would, but very rarely. And it kind of also brings me to this thought of how we worry about things and how rarely what we worry about and what we think is going to happen comes true. Rarely. So I guess I'm just going to put my salt in the lake. I won't try this experiment with the ocean because clearly we're going to see the same results. But I certainly will do this experiment with my life and I will make things bigger. And I know what I've always heard in my program, my 12-step program, is that if you can't, if your problem's too big, make your higher power bigger. So it's the same kind of idea, and I really appreciate this reading. So I hope you have a wonderful day. Don't forget on Sunday, if you're local in the Chicagoland area, come to our workshop. Chelsea and I are doing a workshop, Chelsea Jensen and myself. It's called the Kaleidoscope Series. It's on Myers Briggs and communication and how to harness our personality type to communicate better, to understand how to communicate, how other people communicate, all that fun jazz. You can buy tickets at VickiRood.com, VIKKIROOD.com. I hope to see you there. Have a beautiful day. Be blessed, be well, have fun.